Hi Brad, Jeff Bradley here. I want to thank you for replying to my post on that Facebook business page. And I see that you are in Oklahoma City. I live about an hour north of Seattle, but I did live in Oklahoma City for about 5 years. So I have a lot of good memories from there. So here I am. I am on your website, and I've found some things that I want to point out to you that you can do right now that will make a have a dramatic impact in a positive way on your Google ranking. And then also there are a few things that you can do down the road that will draw a lot more traffic to your website. For example, here I'm on your services page, and where you have all your services listed, eventually the ideal scenario would be to have a separate page for each one of these services dedicated to that service. And when that happens, now you will have the ability to draw specific traffic to those services, people who are looking specifically for those services. And when you have separate pages for your services like that, in the eyes of Google, it's almost like each page is its own website. And now Google has far more ability to direct traffic to specific traffic to all of these separate pages, and this is going to allow you to draw far more traffic to your site. So, but that's the ideal scenario down the road. But for right now, let's focus on your home page. Now, Google places a lot of importance on the home page, so that's why I want to focus on it for right now. Now, Oklahoma City has about 700,000 population, I believe, and you're in a good situation for ranking because you don't have a lot of big cities around you that are going to be drawing potential clients away from you. So everybody in your area, including the surrounding areas, they're going to be searching on the Oklahoma City listing for your service. So that's a good scenario for you. And what I did is I investigated to see what would be the best keyword that would best overall describe your service. And of course, I came up with tax accountant. And there are several other keywords that have very high traffic volume. Tax accountant being the highest. Depending on the time of the year, in Oklahoma City area, there are anywhere from 100 to 1,000 searches per month for tax accountant. And the number is very high as well for other keywords such as tax services, accountant, bookkeeping services, tax preparer, and CPA. All of those terms are getting huge traffic volumes per month. Like I said, depending on the time of year, anywhere from 100 to 1,000 searches a month. Now, most of those searches are staying on page 1 of Google. Here's Google. I've used the keyword tax accountants, Oklahoma City, and here's page 1. Now, according to Google's own numbers, people that search on Google, 92% of them never look past page 1. So if you're down on page 2, now you're dropped down to about 8% of people going there. And page 3, you're basically invisible, 0. Nobody looks past page 2. Very few people look past page 1. So, which is to say that of that 100 to 1,000 searches per month for tax accountant, the businesses that are on page 1 are capturing about 92% of that business. So obviously page 1 is where you need to be, and we can absolutely get you there. And in addition to a couple of things I want to show on your site, I'm also later going to show you 3 of your top competitors, just to give you kind of a lay of the land to see what the competition level is and how high of a hill this is to climb for you to get up to page 1, for you to overtake them in the rankings and actually capture one of these spots on page 1. And I think you're going to be quite excited from what I have to show you, because this is very doable. This is very much within your reach to do it in a fairly short period of time, too. I'm thinking 45 to 60 days to make a dramatic improvement in your rankings. So let me show you what I have. And I'm going to try and keep this under 10 minutes if I can. So it can get very techy, and I don't want to do that. So if after you see the video you have any questions, I'd be happy to hop on a quick call with you and we could discuss things in more depth. So here we are on page 1. The first thing we see is the map section. Now, getting into the map section, it's a function of basically your Google business profile, which you can set up and it's free, combined with lots and lots of good customer reviews, also combined with you being in several directories. That basically gets you onto page or up into the map section. However, it's not necessary to be in the map section, as most of the business does go to the organic listings down here. For example, Larry Stubblefield, he's the #1 accountant business on page 1 for Oklahoma City, and he is not in the map section. So it's always good to have name recognition being up here, but the primary focus, and we can get you here, but the primary focus is obviously the organic listings. Now, in your area for tax accountants, page 1 is dominated by directories. We've got Yelp, expertise.com, we've got Clutch, we've got this guy is a franchise. He's got dozens of locations throughout the country. So we've got just three or four organic listings. So we need to secure one of those spots for you. And here is how we're going to do it. Now, the first thing that Google looks at when trying to rank a website is your title tag. And by the way, let me in on a little secret. You do not have to have the greatest website in the world to rank on page 1 of Google. All you have to do is know what those key things are that Google looks at on your website, the things that it likes and tracks and measures, and then you have to be just a little bit better at those things than your competitors are. So Google grades on a curve. Just be a little bit better than the top organic listings at the things I'm going to show you. #1 being the title tag. It's the first thing that Google looks at on your website. Now, the title tag is these blue lines of text. And the title tag tells Google what it is that you want to rank for and where you are located. Now, there is a formula for the title tag that Google wants to see. Reading from left to right, and here is the formula. It is keyword dash location dash business name. Or some people like to put the location first. So it would be location dash keyword dash business name. But if those three components are in place, Google will then know precisely what your website is about and where you're located. So, for example, Larry Stubblefield, we have accountant. That's his service. We have location, Oklahoma City. And then in first place here, we have his business name. So if these three components are in place, you are in really good shape. So let's go back to your home page here. I'm going to open up this scanning tool, and we're going to determine what your title tag is. Here we go. Let's click on Analyze on page SEO. So currently your title tag is Home, Brad's Tax, and Bookkeeping. Now this is what, if we could find you in the listings, which I couldn't find. I looked all the way down to page 10 and I couldn't find you. But your blue line of text in your title tag would be Home, Brad's Tax, and Bookkeeping. Now watch this. If I copy this title tag just as it is, I'm going to open up a brand new tab. I'm going to click Paste and go. Watch what happens. If I use the words that you have in your title tag for my search, boom, look at you come up #1 on page 1 in my new search. That is how critically important it is to have the title tag correct. Because as it is now, nobody searching for your services would ever even know to type in your business's name, and they would never type in home. And Google is a computer algorithm, and it's it takes everything very literally. So Google thinks that you want to capture the traffic of anybody that's typing this into their search. But nobody would ever type in home, Brad's Tax and Bookkeeping. So, plus there is no location, so Google doesn't know where you exist, where you are coming from. So what your title tag needs to be, following the formula that we mentioned earlier, is tax accountant dash Oklahoma City, Oklahoma dash Brad's Tax and Bookkeeping. That is the title tag that I would recommend for you. And if you wish, you could choose an alternate keyword, such as perhaps tax services or CPA, one of the other ones that I mentioned. But anyway, tax accountant is in the top as far as traffic volume. Now, the second thing that Google looks at when trying to rank you is your H1. Now, the H1 is a line of text, usually appearing somewhere on the top of your website, and the title tag needs to match precisely what you have, or the H1 needs to match precisely what you have in your title tag. So your title tag would also need to read tax accountant dash Oklahoma City, Oklahoma dash Brad's Tax and Bookkeeping. If those two things match, what that does is create a crystal clear channel of communication between your website and Google's algorithm. Now, Google knows precisely what it is that you're trying to rank for, and where you're located, and your business's name. So, if those two things are in place, that is going to make a huge impact on your Google ranking. Now, all of this, and there are a few other things on page that Google looks at, but if you total them together, everything on your page accounts for about 50% of your Google ranking, or the strength of your Google listing. The other 50% lies in what's called backlink profile. Now, you probably know what backlinks are. It's when an outside website or an outside source links to your website. And when that happens, whatever ranking power that outside website has, part of that ranking power is going to flow back to your website and accumulate into ranking power for you. Now let's take a look at your current ranking power. And this is known as the domain rating. The domain rating is on a scale from 0 to 100. And yours is currently 0 because you have 0 backlinks from 0 linking websites. So obviously you're starting at 0, which is great. That means we don't have any bad links that we have to clean up. So now typically in a city of your size, the average business to get on page 1 would need to have a domain rating probably in the high teens and 20s, or maybe even up into the 30s. Depends on the industry. However, I want to show you something that's going to just really open your eyes. Your number one competitor in your area is Tax Guy OKC. That's his URL. And his domain rating is 1.1. Now, this is absolutely stunning to me. He's got 126 backlinks from 25 linking websites, combining for a domain rating of 1.1. I was expecting him to be somewhere in the 20s or 30s. What this tells me is that the distance between you at 0 and him at 1.1, it's a very, very small distance to travel. It's very much within your reach to do. By creating a campaign of building backlinks from good outside sources from the network of linking websites that we have across the country. This would be very, very doable, very easy to do. Now let's take a look at competitor number 2. Stingley CPA, domain rating 1.2, same range. This is extraordinarily low, 67 backlinks. I'm expecting hundreds or thousands of backlinks for businesses on page 1. 32 linking websites. Look at the next competitor. CPA, Oklahoma City, 0.8. And these are businesses on page 1, your number one competitors. So this is extraordinarily shocking to me. It is well within your range to catch them, close that gap, and bypass them by creating a far superior backlink profile. A campaign of building good quality backlinks combined with getting all of these details dialed in on your home page. This is very, very doable to have you overtake these businesses on page one. So I just wanted to give you a kind of a feel for where you stand. And if you'd like to know more about this, obviously we can go into much more detail. But I wanted to just encourage you that this is very much within your reach to make a sizable and actually an extraordinary impact on your ranking and take your rightful place on page one, just to get some of these basic things dialed in for you on your site. So if you're interested in researching this further, just give me a call. I'd be happy to jump on a quick call with you, and we could talk about it. And you can reach me through, just respond to this video that I'm going to send you. I'm going to post it to your direct message in your Facebook account. So you can reply to me there. And that's what I do. I help businesses to get onto page one of Google, which, for starters, is going to multiply times 10 at least the number of people who will see you. And it's going to make a huge impact on your monthly revenue. So just get back to me, and love to have a chat with you. So I apologize for going so long. I only wanted to take 10 minutes, and we are approaching 17 minutes. So look forward to talking to you, and hope you have a great day. Take care. Talk to you soon. Bye now.